In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Alpine stitch. For materials, I'm using some worsted weight yarn, and instead of my trusty 5mm hook, I'm using a 5.5mm hook today. This stitch does have a tendency to kind of curl in a little bit because of all of those front post double crochets. So if you're a tight crocheter like myself, you may want to go up one hook size. Let's get started. For our foundation chain, we need an odd number of stitches. For my swatch today, I'm going to start with 21. So I'm going to make a slip knot and place it on my hook and chain out 21. Now you can chain as many as you like. So if you'd like to pause the video at this time, you can, and I'll meet you back here after you have finished making all of your chains. So I've just finished all of my chain stitches, and now it's time to begin row 1. We're going to be working 3 foundation rows. Those 3 foundation rows kind of set the base for the rest of the Alpine stitch, and then after that it's a 4-row repeat. And I'm going to be using US terms for this tutorial. So I'm going to start my first foundation row with single crochets, and we're going to put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So I'm going to skip over 1, 2, and then I just hold my thumb here so I can remember which chain I'm working into. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over and pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Now working in the next chain, same thing, single crochet insert, yarn over and pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Let's do one more together. In the next chain, insert, yarn over and pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So if you like, you can pause the video, continue to work single crochets for this entire row until you reach the end, and I'll meet you back here on your last stitch. I'm placing my last single crochet for foundation row number 1. And you should end up with an even number of stitches, and it will be 1 stitch less than the foundation chain that you started with. So for example, here I have 20 stitches. Now we're ready to flip our work over and work foundation row number 2. We're going to chain 2. This counts as a stitch here and throughout. It counts as a double crochet. And in the next stitch, so not the one that we just chained out of, but the next stitch, we're going to work a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert underneath both of those loops, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Let's do that a couple more times in the next stitch here. Yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Let's do that together one more time. Yarn over, insert underneath both of those loops, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So continue to work double crochets across to the end of the row, placing 1 double crochet in each stitch from the row below. And I'll meet you back here when we get to the end of foundation row number 2. And I'm just placing my last double crochet in that final stitch. And now we're ready for foundation row number 3. So we're going to turn our work again. And this row is once again going to be some single crochets. So I'm going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. So we're going to single crochet right back down in that very first stitch that we just chained out of. So I'm going to single crochet in that stitch, and I'm going to single crochet once again in each stitch across. So this is a fairly easy row, and it's our last row for our foundation rows. After this, we're going to be doing our pattern repeat. So continue to work single crochets until you reach the end of the row, and I'll show you what to do for our next row. And I've reached the end of my row here, and here's that chain 2 from the row below. So I'm going to work my final single crochet into that chain 2. So that is the end of our foundation row number 3. It's time to flip our work over, and now we're ready for our pattern repeat. So for row number 1 of our pattern repeat, we're going to chain 2. Once again, this counts as a stitch. And this is where we're going to introduce our front post double crochets. So to work a front post double crochet, you're not going to be working in the top of the single crochets from the row below. We're going to be working around the post of the double crochet 2 rows below. So to work around the post, we're going to be inserting our hook underneath the actual post and not the top of the stitches themselves. So I'm going to go through and do a few of these with you. So after our chain 2, we're going to be working a front post double crochet in the next stitch. So we're going to skip the single crochet and go down to the row below and work a front post double crochet. So to do that, I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go underneath the post, going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And you want to work fairly loosely here. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now our next stitch is going to be a regular double crochet, and it's going to be worked in the single crochet row, so our row that we had just finished, and not in the row below. So we're just going to work a regular double crochet right in the top in that single crochet. Our next stitch is going to be another front post double crochet. So once again, not working into that single crochet, but working around the post from the row below. Going to yarn over, go underneath that post, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Next stitch, working a regular double crochet in that single crochet. So we're basically alternating between front post double crochets worked in the row 2 rows below and a regular double crochet worked in the row below. So we just worked that regular double crochet. Now it's time to work a front post double crochet. So here's our single crochet and our double crochet below. We're going to yarn over and work around that post. Once again, working fairly loosely so that our stitches don't curl up too tight. Regular double crochet in the next stitch, in that single crochet on the top, and front post double crochet in the next stitch. So if you like, you can pause the video. From this point forward, we're going to work a double crochet, followed by a front post double crochet. You're going to continue to do that to the end of the row. And when you get to the end, you will have 2 stitches left. It will be these final 2, and I'll show you how to finish the row. And I've come to those final 2 stitches, those last 2 single crochets. You should have just finished a front post double crochet. For our last 2 stitches, we're just going to work regular double crochets into the top of each of those stitches. So your last 3 stitches will be a front post followed by 2 regular double crochets. So now it's time to turn over our work for row number 2. Row number 2 is going to be fairly easy. We're just going to chain up 1 and single crochet right back down into that stitch. And then you're just going to work single crochets across the entire row. So if you'd like to pause the video, I'll meet you back here after you have reached the end of row number 2. At the end of my row here, I have that chain 2 from the row below, and I'm just going to work a single crochet in that as my final stitch. So now we're ready for row 3. I'm going to flip my work over, and once again you can see those alternating front post double crochets with the double crochet. So we're going to be doing another row of those, but this time we're going to be staggering the stitches. So we'll be working our front post double crochets in the double crochet stitches from 2 rows below and working a regular double crochet in the front post ones. So we're going to chain 2. Once again, this counts as a double crochet. And in row number 1, we started our stitch number 2 with a front post double crochet. So in row number 3, we're just going to do a regular double crochet. So I'm going to regular double crochet on the top, right into that single crochet. And now I'm ready to do a front post double crochet. And if you look at these stitches, the front post double crochets kind of stick out, and our regular double crochets from 2 rows below kind of recede in the background. And those ones that are receding are the ones that we need to work around. So I might need to push that stitch forward just a little bit so that you can see it to work our front post double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, insert around that post, yarn over and pull through 2, and pull through 2. Our next stitch here you can see was a front post double crochet from 2 rows below. So we're going to be working a regular double crochet in the top of that one. And that's going to be done once again in that single crochet stitch on the top. So just a regular double crochet. And our next stitch is going to be a front post double crochet. Once again, we need to kind of scooch that stitch that's kind of hiding in the background forward so we can work around it. There's our front post double crochet. And we see our front post double crochet from 2 rows below. So we're going to work a regular double crochet in the top of that one in that single crochet row. Now we're going to work front post, followed by a double, just regular double. And that's going to be the pattern to the end of the row. So do a front post double crochet, followed by a regular double crochet. And you're going to do that until you reach the end of the row. And when you get to the end, you won't have 2 stitches left. The second to the last stitch is going to be your front post, and the very last stitch will end up being a double crochet. So we won't have any leftovers on this round. You will end with a front post followed by a double crochet. I'll meet you back here when we get to the end of that row. When we get to the end of row 3, you can start to see that Alpine stitch take place where you're getting those alternating stitches of front post double crochets between the rows. For row number 4, it's going to be a simple row once again. Going to flip our work over and chain 1, and we're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. So if you'd like to pause the video, continue to work single crochets in each stitch across. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 4. Once again, at the end of our row 4, we have that chain 2 that we're going to work our final single crochet into. And that is the end of our pattern repeat. So that is rows 1 through 4. So now I'm just going to continue to work rows 1 through 4 until I reach the desired length of my project. So I'm going to do one more repeat of rows 1 through 4, and I'm going to show you what our swatch looks like after that's finished. I just finished another set of rows 1 through 4, and now you can really begin to see those alternating rows of front post double crochets, which gives this stitch such a wonderful and beautiful texture. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with all of your crochet crafty friends. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet tutorials.